everybody. So I'm Brett Conway. I'm one of the people on the board here, and we appreciate everyone coming in tonight. This is our 8th meeting of the 100 People Who Care Tewksbury. So this is our 2nd full cycle. And we're in a new space tonight as well. We want to thank David DeCenzo, the owner here at Luna Rosa. So thank you very much for the fantastic space for us tonight. I don't know, hopefully you had eaten here before. If you haven't, the food is outstanding. So if you have a chance, please do. And we're really grateful for David Luna Rosa, also just a great friend to Tewksbury, number one, and a great business partner here in the community. So we appreciate that. So tonight we are going to be learning about 3 new charities that you're going to hear about tonight. Newhouse Wildlife Rescue, the Tewksbury Community Pantry, and the Tewksbury Memorial High School Theater Company. So we're going to be very excited to listen to them in just a minute. But we do have a couple things to remind you of and to go over. Normally, at this point, we actually hear from the winner from the last session, Girls Inc. However, Bofa from Girls Inc. was not able to make it tonight because of the change in date, but she did record a video and video message, so we're not showing it right now. I know, everyone's like, oh, no. We are going to send it to you tomorrow. You're going to get it in an email and a summary, but it's an opportunity. I know, what a letdown, right? But this way, actually, everyone, whether you're here or not, will be able to see the message and be able to sort of spend some time getting to see all the great work that Girls Inc. is doing with their $10,000 award that they have in December. So, I also want to be sure that we recognize our sponsors tonight. So first, Dance Expressions is one of our sponsors tonight. So Dance Expressions is not here in the venue tonight. Of course, change date had it to do, but they are sponsoring it tonight. They are right here in Tewksbury. They've served thousands of kids over the years. Ginny Perone, where's Ginny?
Right here.
There you are. So Ginny's someone she is a dance mom, right? Yes.
Me too.
We have a few dance moms here, yeah. Right. And she's standing in for Jess Durante, the owner. So if you ever want to talk about everything that Dance Expressions does, Ginny can help you out there. So thank you very much. Our second sponsor, Al and Michelle Salas in Irving from Eco Auto, a brand new company opening in Tewksbury, just started in Tewksbury. So thank you very much to Eco Auto. Just celebrated their grand opening. They're on Route 38. So very excited to have both of you with us tonight, and we're really grateful that you're here. So if you get a chance to go over there, Jane tried to electrocute me with the plug-in earlier.
Well, I'll work harder next time.
Yeah. You plug it in next time. Right? Yeah. So. As a reminder, just about what our sponsors do for us. So our sponsors, why do we have sponsors for this event? Our sponsors donate the $250 to each of the runner-up charities. So that way we ensure that they have money and know every time we do this, those runner-up charities walk away with a lot more than $250 because of your generosity. But this is the way our sponsors are able to ensure that happens. So, and a reminder, so Grapevine, I think we had 5 people already sign up this month, and I think just tonight we had 2 or 3. If we get 5 more tonight, we get over 10, actually get an additional $100 donated from Grapevine. So if you're finding it like me, who literally forgot their checkbook, I'm walking out the door and thinking, I know I'm forgetting something about that checkbook. So I need to sign up for Grapevine as well, clearly. But a great way just to have it taken care of, you don't have to worry about it. And then, there it is, okay. So finally, we want to thank our volunteers as well, particularly Diane Dunleavy and Tammy Duggan, who managed the check-in. Thank you. And we want to thank Wicked Cornhole, who prints these gigantic checks that we have for us here. We appreciate that. No donation event is complete without the big check. And a few other things as well. We want to thank, oh, wait a minute. There it is, okay. And we also want to give a big thanks to the folks at Tewksbury Telemedia. So John is with us tonight, so we appreciate them filming tonight. And that way we get to make sure that folks get to see that after this evening as well when it's recorded. And Jane Perone, not only are you a dance mom, you're also our event photographer. So we want to thank you for making sure we get all the images taken. It's fun. Appreciate it. And I know Chrissy and Jane, you have 3 or 4 wardrobe changes tonight. Isn't that right? You can get those on camera. Yeah. So after this evening, with our 8th event, we will cross over the $100,000 donation mark. Congratulations to yourselves, your generosity, and making a difference to our local organizations. So as a reminder to our veteran members, and for folks who are here for the first time, we have some first-time members here. Anyone here for the first time? There we are. Raise your hands high. Be proud. Thank you. Welcome. Good to see you. So in just a moment, each nominee is going to have a chance to come up. You have 5 minutes to present regarding your organization, and then an additional 4 minutes for some questions from the audience. Our timekeeper, Sam Beatrice, here's Sam, right? She's going to, right in front of you, you can't miss her. She's going to make sure you know when you have a 1-minute warning, so you get to wrap it up. 5 minutes feels like a long time, it goes quick. So, and tonight we've distributed the envelopes that include your ballot. Those envelopes should be on your desk. Everyone have those there? Don't mistake the ballots and the envelopes. So the envelopes are what we put the money in, and the ballots are what you return. Okay, so we could keep them separate. And then additionally, there are manila envelopes on the tables. And the manila envelopes are the things that you would use to put additional payments to other charities besides the money, if you so choose. And then we do ask that once the winner is announced tonight, that we make sure we quickly bring our payments with the envelopes up to the desk up there. We come around and collect them. We want to make sure we collect all that tonight and do that very quickly. Okay. So again, we'll come around and pick up the ballots, and then once we announce the winner, we want to make sure all payments go towards the front table over there, so that we can make sure our winning charities and all our charities can leave and they don't have to stay too long tonight. So last but not least, we want to thank the rest of the board. We appreciate everything you're doing there. Where your board member, just raise your hand so we can see you. There's some of our board members. And if we have anyone else who's interested, if you're interested in joining the board and doing some of the work, it is a working board. We do various parts. We have roles. And we meet not too often, but we meet enough to make sure we're at least organized and on top of stuff. And if you're interested, all you have to do is submit that form online or reach out to one of us. We're happy to chat. So now we'd like to get started. So our nominees, again, had 5 minutes to speak, 4 minutes for question. Earlier this evening, they drew numbers for speaking order. So our first nominee is Newhouse Wildlife Rescue is our nominee. Jane Newhouse, who's the president. And Jane is here with Marjorie Pepe and Jonathan Perry. So thank you very much, and here you go.
Hello. I practiced this in front of my couch, and it turns out this is very different. So maybe not as prepped as I thought I was. All right, 5 minutes. My name is Jane Newhouse, as you said. I'm the founder of Newhouse Wildlife Rescue, and we are essentially a wildlife rescue. We help injured and orphaned wild animals that people find. It's spring right now, so a lot of people will find orphaned and injured animals. When trees are cut down, or if animals are hit by cars, if they have maybe a mother removed from their attic, didn't realize she was a mom. But what I want to talk to you about today is beavers. I've received beavers over the years, but this past year, last year, I received a baby beaver, about 1 pound. Her name is Nibby, and if you follow us on Facebook, you know Nibby. She's a character, so you definitely follow us, yeah. She's a character. Up until then, I'd only ever done adults, and I appreciate them. They're incredibly important to our ecosystem. They're actually ecosystem engineers. When they build dams, they create these incredible filtration systems that help reduce soil erosion, they increase sediment, and they help to remove heavy metals, pollutants, pesticides, fertilizers from the water. They help increase biodiversity by 33% in plants, and they help other animals like waterfowl, muskrats, otters even use their dens. So they're very important to our ecosystem. A lot of people don't realize that about beavers. They also don't realize just how cool they are. And when you've gotten to raise a baby, you realize these animals have so much personality. A lot of the animals we raise, I realize, have a lot of personality. But Nibby's really taught me a lot. And Nibby was a single beaver. She was the only beaver in all of New England, actually, baby beaver. So I ran into some trouble there where she was a single, and they need lots of love. And I was like, well, someone's got to do it. So we did it. And but we ended up having one transferred from Rhode Island. Somebody finally found another baby. She was 5 months old. We named her Zebby. So Nibby means water in the name I can't think of because it's too much pressure. But and then Zibby means river. So we brought them together, and I was like, this is going to be amazing. These two are finally going to have each other. They're orphans with no moms. They hate each other so much. Okay. So I have one semi-aquatic enclosure for the rescue. We're one of 2 rescues in the state of Massachusetts that are allowed to rehabilitate otters. So our semi-aquatic enclosure is made for otters or beavers. Baby beavers are a 2 to 3 year commitment. They don't leave their mom until they're 2 or 3 years old. They stay with their mom and dad, and last year's siblings will raise this year's siblings. They're very, very family oriented. So with Nibby and Zibby hating each other and only having one semi-aquatic enclosure, what I'm asking you guys for tonight, what we desperately need is another semi-aquatic enclosure. Whenever I have a baby beaver, I'm not going to be able to rehabilitate otters, and with only 2 rehabilitation places in the state, we really need another enclosure. These enclosures aren't cheap. They need a large body of water that needs to be cleaned out frequently, and these are larger animals. Your average beaver's 40 to 60 pounds. A lot of people don't realize that. So they need lots of space. So I'm doing good on time, because I figured by now I'd blown through under 3 minutes. Sweet. Okay. So that would really help us, because we're one of the main places that people call for beavers. Actually, I was just at a beaver rescue yesterday in Pepperell. A beaver was caught in a man-made dam. It was crazy. There's like this center place where water flowed through, and I don't know if he was trying to dam the dam. It was really weird, but he got underneath, and we rescued him, and he's dealing with frostbite from being on metal grates. And then just last week, we had one that was stuck in fencing. It's actually meant to keep beavers out. But sometimes beavers are small enough last year to fit through that fencing, and then when they come out from their dens after winter, they put on a few pounds and can't, and they'll get lodged in there. So we go out to beaver calls all the time, and what I can say is, from having Nibby, we've helped people all over the world fall in love with beavers, and what I like to do is manipulative. I like to have them fall in love with like this adorable, cute creature, and then maybe an animal they didn't really care to learn a lot about, they start being more interested in. Because we all love dogs and cats, but we know them. And sometimes where an animal is foreign to us, we fear them. And I see people hopping in ponds with alligators, these alligator guys, and I'm like, I would never. But there were 3 men standing outside of this hole that beaver was in yesterday, and I was like, no, they're fine. I know them. They're great. They're not what you think they are. So in understanding these animals, we fear them less. So my main point being, oh, it's my time? I blew through it? I too? Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Questions? That's it. 4 minutes for questions. Anybody have any questions? Yes, sir.
What is the ideal final result for them? Do you get them into the wild?
Yes, the goal is for them to be rehabilitated into the wild. So
Just repeat the question.
his question is, what's the overall goal of our facilities to rehabilitate them back into the wild? And yes, so far we've never had an animal we weren't able to rehabilitate. There are no. If there is one that isn't able to be rehabilitated, they can be used for education, but so far the ones we've been able to save have been fully rehabilitated and released into the wild. Yes?
Do you relocate animals?
No, that's actually legal in the state of Massachusetts. They even have strict rules on where I can release the ones that I've rehabilitated. I can only release within 5 miles from my facility or 5 miles of where they were found. Yes? No, ma'am, I do like every four-legged furry thing you could think of that's not domestic. So, beavers, otters, fish, I triage fishes, I don't fully, just get a special license, but, porcupines, raccoons, squirrels, chipmunks, yeah, foxes, yeah, a lot of foxes, yeah. Rabbits, lots of rabbits, yes, ma'am.
I don't know, but do you have any birds, I don't know, like hawks or anything?
I triage hawks. Sometimes people will call us. There's a federal permit for birds of prey. We have triaged in the past when someone couldn't reach a federal rehabilitator. A lot of birds of prey suffer from rat poisoning. Don't get me started on that. That's a whole other. I'll blow through it. And hit by cars. So we will triage, but we can't fully rehabilitate. We'll transfer them to another facility. Let's hand over here somewhere. Yes, sir.
So we're talking about making another aquatic enclosure. I just wonder how much that would cost to build.
So my last one that I built was around 11,000. My hope is to keep this one around 10,000. We have to create a pool, which I know a guy who does. It's a weird thing to call somebody and be like, I need you to make a pool, but not a pool because it can't have pool stuff in it. It's got to be like rock. But I know a guy. And we have to. They try and dig under, so we have to actually excavate and go 3 feet down. And because they have teeth that are fortified with iron that are meant to cut through trees, it's got to be a certain kind of metal and a certain thickness. So from the one that we did before that cost us about 11, I think this one will be slightly smaller. I could do it for about 10. So this would actually be like the perfect amount for what we need. Anybody else? Yes.
If you didn't do what you do, what would happen?
So there are. My voice carries even if this thing stops. There are about 200 rehabilitators in the state, but there's not a lot to take beaver. So that's what we run into is if there's nowhere to put them, the state people can't keep them in their houses. So if there's nowhere to put them, they have to be euthanized. And with as much as I see how difficult we make their lives, the stuff they go through, it's nice to have a place they can go to help make things right, you know? So I don't know what would happen, but we're going to stick around forever, so don't plan on going anywhere. Good? Thank you, guys.
Thank you. All right, so next up we have Tewksbury Memorial High School Theater Company, and we have a few different people with us tonight. Brooke Bunyan. So here's Brooke. Brooke is the Student Executive Board member and Tewksbury Memorial High School senior and cast member. We have Celeste Pellegrino. So Celeste is the creative director and Tewksbury Memorial High School music teacher. And we have David Moffett, technical director and TMHS art teacher as well. So thank you for joining us. Here you go.
Hi, I'm Brooke Bunyan. I'm one of the senior presidents of the Tewksbury High School Theater Company. I've been doing shows since 8th grade, and I've lived in Tewksbury my whole life, so the town eats hard. And I'm here representing the most welcoming and diverse community in the school, and maybe the most inclusive in our community as a whole. Everybody knows Friday nights in the fall are a big deal in this town. The yelling and Doucette, the Snack Shack pizza, the $1 bag of M&Ms, and all the numbers out in the field. It's almost essential to the culture of Tewksbury. The student section brings a generation of Tewksbury together, and in the rest of the stands, everybody else. They all come out for Friday night lights. And it's a really special and unifying thing. And I know I'm one to be up here, the drama girl calling football a beautiful thing, but it truly is. It brings our town together. But after the Thanksgiving game, it's hard to find other opportunities to see so many of us out in the community together. Unless, of course, the Vic's Waffle House line on a Sunday morning or Mexica Mondays. But aside from that, there isn't much. That is, until last year with Mamma Mia. This was the first time in TMHS TC history that we have almost sold out the entire theater all 4 nights. And that was the first time I had felt so important. And I mean, I was an ensemble, but I was a part of something that brought so much of our town to enjoy something together as a community. That really resonated with me because my rehearsals schedule out to the same times as my varsity friends, if not longer, and this is my game day, and boy, what a turnout. And while I was in that show, I had time to look out into the audience during our award-winning closing number. And all the people I saw made me feel incredibly fulfilled. We were here as a community. And we've come a long way, though. It took a lot to get to where we are now and to where we were last spring. TMHS-TC has gone through so many changes, even just in my 4 years. But we adapt. As individuals, we may be pretty dramatic, but as a company, we are a unit. We overcome like no group I've ever seen. I mean, the show must go on. So far, we have worked with what we are given, and we have done an astounding job with which. Currently, our shows are entirely self-funded, with our school paying only for the rights and gifting us with a $0 budget. Because of this, we look to our boosters, a group of parents who dedicate their time and money to a nonprofit organization to supporting our club. However, the boosters are only so many people. Parents only have so much time to contribute, and asking them to support our theater family while also supporting their own gets rather tricky. Through our boosters, we have a number of student-run fundraisers, Apple Fest, concessions, and shut-up collection, all done in time between rehearsals. And then, of course, our ticket sales, which fund our shows, even though we pride ourselves on keeping ticket prices low, so the theater is accessible for all. I mean, it's cheaper than a movie ticket, so. Regarding our tech, probably one of the largest expenses of all, we are a very technically advanced group. Behind the scenes and behind the soundboard and spotlights, we have almost an equally as large crew who make our shows possible. Money will be going to help our sets. Mamma Mia had a pretty intense set, now being considered the small set by our rather experienced technical director. Our sets are made from wood that has been used for many shows before and continually reused until it can be no longer. As a fan of recycling, I'm a pretty big fan of this, but as somebody who has had to stand on a platform made out of wood that used in shows some of my teachers were in, it's a little bit of an unbalanced dilemma. On the more visible front, we have other things that can be improved for our shows. Costumes are usually provided from the costume closet, with outfits dating back to when Annie was the hottest show to do. Or they're being supplied by the actors themselves, which is easy for some, but proves a hardship for others. This is an obvious obstacle for such a diverse club. We have people in and out of every clique in our school, athletes, honor students, musicians, obviously singers, and everyone in between. Our club consists of people in every different financial situation, many cultures, and people of all different social abilities, an impressively kind environment for the young people in our community to become involved in the arts. This club provides a shocking amount of support for those within our high school community. I mean, it's done a great job in its part raising me. And the club and the stage are able to make people feel seen. And while it may be acting on stage, the lessons taught within this club help these traits carry over, become part of our actual character. And it helps raise more confident students, giving them opportunity, an outlet, and the foundation they need regardless of their home lives. For the amount of support we provide, the amount we receive directly back is obviously inequitable. With your contribution, we will be able to invest in the futures of those within our company, providing opportunity, whether this be behind the scenes or on stage, and provide this club a more professional environment to make the arts more expansive in our community. Time? All right, well, thank you. Any questions? Yes.
How do students get involved?
The question was, how do students get involved in the company? Any student at Tewksbury Memorial High School, any single one, is welcome to be in our shows. We have no cuts, meaning anyone who comes to auditions has a part on stage. Or if they want to learn how to use a power tool, we'll teach them how to do that too, and they'll build our sets. So anyone who walks through our doors is part of our shows. Any other questions?
How many students are in each show?
How many students are in each show? We typically go between 60 and 70, depending on the production, and that is on stage and backstage working on our crew. Yes?
How much does a typical production cost?
How much does a typical production cost? Now this really varies depending on the show. We put on 3 productions a year, a fall play, a winter musical or play, and then a big spring production. I can tell you this year, our budget for the fall was $6,000. Our budget for the winter was $4,000, and our budget for the spring was $13,000. Theater can be quite expensive to put on, but it's definitely worth it in the long run. Yes?
How much do you usually get from the tickets?
I would say typically ticket sales end up bringing in what we've put out, or at least we try to budget that way. So it's somewhat equitable to what our budget is per show.
So would, if you got the award, would that reduce ticket sales or would it be used in different?
If we were to receive the $10,000, it would go towards our next season. Updating items that need to be updated. Items in our costume closet we use them until they literally become rags. Our wood we use until it is not safe to stand on. So the money would go towards maintaining and updating some essential items for the theater.
What kind of items do you need? Like, people that are going.
Yes, what type of items do we need? We've been very lucky with having some donations, especially to our closet, our prop closet and our costume closet. But it really depends on the show. I'm sure you saw the giant Beauty and the Beast sign behind you. That show has some very niche items like a rose that falls apart, when the beast can't learn to love, which is very niche and maybe can't be donated, but of course sometimes a plain black shirt can be. It depends production to production. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And we have our third and final nonprofit charity. So we'd like to welcome up to the stage Tewksbury Community Pantry and the chairperson, board of directors, Mr. Bill Welch.
Good evening, and thank you very much for our nomination tonight, and congratulations to the other 2 organizations as well for their nominations. The Tewksbury Community Pantry was founded in 1995 with a mission of providing short and long-term confidential assistance to Tewksbury residents in need. So we are a closed pantry, meaning we only support Tewksbury residents. On a monthly basis, we have 3 distributions, and we provide assistance to over 200 Tewksbury seniors, adults, and children. And on an annual basis, we distribute approximately $250,000 worth of food to our clients. And as all of us here feel the impact and increased cost of food as we go through the checkout line of the supermarket, the pantry feels that impact as well as we purchase food for our clients each month. And as we do support our clients, we understand that those who are already facing food insecurity feel that impact even more. And what's compounding that issue for them is as of March 1st, the extra pandemic benefits they were receiving through the SNAP program have ended. And SNAP is a Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, which many of us know as food stamps. So those who are facing food insecurity not only still have to contend with the high cost of food, they now have fewer resources each month to help address that. And I heard that directly from many of our clients as they came through our March distributions over the last couple of weeks. And we at the pantry understand that the clients who are going to come to us are going to need our assistance even more now, and that a number of new clients are going to come requiring our resources and increase greatly during the year as well. So towards the end of each year, besides the regular distributions we also have a special Thanksgiving distribution where we provide a turkey and all the makings for a full Thanksgiving dinner. And we also try to give as much as we can extra to our clients in December as well around the holidays. We really try to make sure that our clients have a full and enjoyable holiday season, which otherwise they might not be able to have. So, and what allows us to do all of this is our biggest annual fundraiser, which is a golf tournament, which nets us around $10,000 each year. And for the past 24 years, that tournament was held at the Tewksbury Country Club. Exactly. So the likelihood of us being able to have a tournament this year is very unlikely. So being able to receive this award this evening would go a very long way in helping fill the void we have in our financials this year as we try to find a long-term solution and replacement for those funds. So the funds would allow us to continue to provide the level of support that our current clients need. It's going to help us address the increased needs that they now have from us. And it's going to help us support the new clients that are going to come on to our resources throughout the year. So thank you very much for your time. And I'd like to close by emphasizing that as important this award is to us tonight, that's also a great opportunity for us to get in front of the public and say, if anyone here is aware of anyone facing food insecurity, please let them know that the pantry is a confidential resource for them right here in town. Because word of mouth is our best advertising. So, thank you very much. Yes.
Besides word of mouth, how do you get connected with your clients?
We have food drop donations across town, at the library, at the senior center, at Schlag Tire. They do great advertising for us. We are present on social media as well. Our biggest food drive is the annual letter carriers food drive. So look for the yellow bags in your mail around May 13th. And so we do have a lot of great connections with the school system. They do a lot of food drives for us as well. So, we always try to reach out as much as we can. We do have a great presence at the senior center, but we're always wondering, are we reaching out to all seniors who don't use the resources at the senior center? So how can we reach out to them? I'm going to be reaching out to the school nurses just to say if they have any families that they know need food assistance, please let them know that the pantry is there as a resource for them.
In addition to food resources, are there other things that the food pantry needs in order to continue to function at the level that it needs to?
Yes. Besides, most people think of the food pantry as a place where we distribute food each month. But if you think about the needs that a person has, they also need household items. They need personal hygiene items. And a lot of times the clients have to make the decision, are we going to be, how much food can we get this month versus how much bills are we going to pay? Or, I'm going to buy a little more food this year, so I'm going to have to cut back on household hygiene items. So we really try to provide as much overall support as we can for someone for a full living capacity. We also understand that a lot of our clients are gluten-free, which can be a lot more expensive. So we try as best we can to provide gluten-free items to our clients if we can. So, or if anyone's diabetic, then if we have sugar-free items that get donated to us, we try to set those aside so we give those specific to those people. So, and we do have some very younger clients as well with infants. Once in a while, we do get baby formula donated to us, so we feel fortunate to be able to help them as well.
What is the need in Tewksbury versus, I think you said $250,000 a year?
Correct.
What is the need in Tewksbury? Much higher than that?
We're desperately trying to reach out to and see if there's anyone that we're not touching that needs assistance to us. So we say, word of mouth is the best advertising. So we're reaching out to as many organizations as we can to try to get the word out. A lot of organizations do good food drives for us, but we know there's probably families out there who are unaware of us, and there's probably seniors who need the support who aren't hearing about us as well. So
I'm wondering, how do the seniors who don't mind get how does that
that happens with a lot of our clients. So we don't have the resource in order to be able to deliver food. So we do encourage people. We have set dates. We put out a calendar for the year. So really try to encourage people to carpool to come and be able to receive assistance. which we do see that. We see a lot of people in residences who have common needs. They come together all at once and try to help each other with that. We do have a big senior population who come to our service, who come to our distributions. Yes, but I think we can always do more.
How many current families are using our community pantry? Do you have the number on that?
We have over 100 families that we have. But
Right now, yes.
all right, great. Thank you all very much.
So at this time, it's time to cast your ballot. We want to thank our charities for joining us tonight and sharing your words as well, and all the great work you do. So you want to make sure that you fill out your ballots now. Our board members are coming around with the baskets to pick up your ballots. Again, just the ballot, not the envelope yet, just the ballot. And you want to put that into your baskets. We want to thank our sponsors this evening. So Dance Expressions, we want to thank them for being one of our sponsors tonight. Thank you, Dance Expressions. And we want to thank Eco Auto for their generosity in joining us tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. Excellent. And then once we announce tonight's winning charity, just a reminder, you want to make sure you write your checks out right away, put them in the envelopes, and bring them over to you. So we'll be back with you in a little bit. And if you have your phones out and you're marking your calendars, Wednesday, June 21st at Wamasit Lanes on the patio. That is our next event. Wednesday, June 21st at Wamasit Lanes on the patio. In and out, here we go. So thank you very much, everyone. I was just saying, if I could take a moment of personal privilege for a moment. Every time we have one of these, I always think to myself, gosh, how do you pick between these? And then the next one, I'm like, that's even harder than the last. And I don't know how you all voted this last time. Just fantastic, all three of you, truly. But nonetheless, we do have a winner. So, as a reminder though, before we jump into it, June 21st, that's our next event. We're at Wamasit Lanes. And for our runners-up, don't run off yet, right? Stick around. Because what we want is we have our sponsors' checks who come up here as well, so you get to be part of those photos. You get to stick around for that. So our winner this time around is the Tewksbury Community Pantry.
Right in front, you get one just for you. You get it. There you go.
Congratulations. And we want our runners-up to come up here as well to receive their checks. So we can have TMHS Theater Company come on up. And Newhouse Bob Wright.
Sorry.
Congratulations to you as well. I'll get your picture right here.
Oh, you can stay.
Yep. want to make sure you use your envelopes, make your payments in the envelopes, and bring them up over to the left over there. There's some boxes for you to drop them into. And once again, congratulations to all of you. And we very much appreciate everyone's work and contribution. So thank you very much and have a great rest of the evening.
What is your official thing?